My brothers and sisters, God has made it possible for us to have the privilege to continue with our series. Prepare my people, part 3. Prepare my people, part 3. We are joyful people because we are victorious. We are victorious because we are obedient. Absolute obedience brings about absolute victory. And in every victory, there is joy. God bless you. Corruption and violence attracts the judgment of God. And last week, we were able to look into the various political systems, whether it is democratic, theocratic, communist, socialist, all over the world. There is corruption and judgment, even now as we speak. And this judgment, these things are going to bring judgment. Why? Because they are all corrupt and they are filled with violence. We might not go deep into that today, but we are going to look at another phase, the economic system. Show me an economic system that is not corrupt, then I will show you an economic system that is not violent. Are you talking of the Middle East? Are you talking of Asia? Are you talking of America? Are you talking of Latin America? Are you talking of Europe? Every economic system is not only corrupt, but also filled with violence, or in other words, infiltrated with violence. Now, what is economics? Production and the means of production. Production and means of production. Production is corrupt because every economic activity today in terms of producing goods and services are all infiltrated with corruption, in that many of the things that are produced today are produced not because it is for human needs, but rather for the few who wants to use it to intimidate, manipulate, in order to control. Can I say that again? Those that are in charge of production today, whether it is production of goods or services, are there today practicing corruption because they use their production to do what? Intimidate, manipulate, in order to control the affairs of men. And this alone is witchcraft. In other words, the level of corruption in our economic system is bewitching, sorcery. Are we talking about the means of production? The means of production today are in the hands of those who want to use it to intimidate, to manipulate, and to control the lives of others. Are there corruption in our economic system? Yes. Is it violent? Yes. Because they kill in the secret. If you are standing on their way, they eliminate that person. It is going on even now as we speak. Now let us match the economic system now to what Jesus told us. Are there deception? Yes, there is deception in the economic system, both in production and in the means of production. Even in some countries, some people have so much dominated it that it is now in the hands of few, the privileged. When actually the humans that are willing and trained with the right skills to get involved in this production and means of production are denied access to these things. It is corrupt. And it contains violence. Because in order to control the means of production, they are ready to kill. But that is not our portion in the mighty name of Jesus. Now, in the economic system, much of the production today is being prepared for wars and rumors of wars. Exactly what Jesus told us in the scriptures. And again, because we know who is in control of production and we know who is in control of the means of production, it is troubling to the soul of every mankind, especially Christians. It is troubling. Now, you might hear the word competition. No! They are scheming one against another. Even in the international trade, America is accusing China. China is accusing Russia. Russia is accusing Europe. There is manipulation. There are intimidations. And there is secret and open violence. And this will attract the judgment of God. In addition, there is economic famine. Economic famine. When you expect for some certain things to be available and they are not there, it is famine. When you expect food on the table and the food is not there, that is famine. It is not only when there is no harvest. It is not only when there is dry land. There is dryness in the economic system of the world today. Jesus was right in all ramifications. Now, look at this. There is economic pestilence. What is pestilence? Sickness, epidemic. There is economic epidemic everywhere. Are you talking of Africa? Worst case. Are you talking of Europe? Remember the Brexit. Are you talking of Russia, Asia? Your gaze is as good as mine. But Jesus told us these things all in Matthew chapter 24, verse 4 to 8. 4 verses contains all this. Now, are there economic earthquake? Yes. Earthquake is not only when there is, underground, explosives or whatever, explosions, and the earth is moving in one direction and buildings are collapsing. Let me tell you, any economic situation that causes you shock is an earthquake, because it shocks you to your foundation. It shocks families to their foundation. It shocks communities, nations to their foundation. And that is earthquake itself. Yeah, there are always geological earthquakes, but there is economic earthquake. There are political earthquakes. When things are happening in a country and those things are causing troubling minds and shaking you to your foundation, that is a political earthquake. That's economic earthquake. And this alone tells you that judgment must come. There is no need to pray to avert it, because Noah didn't pray to avert the flood. Lot couldn't pray to avert, fire and brimstone over Sodom and Gomorrah. We face it. How? Watch and pray. Watch and pray. Because Jesus said, this is not the end of times. The end has not yet come. This is only the beginning of sorrow. Therefore, you father of the house, prepare your family. You pastor, prepare the church. For this is the beginning of sorrow. Father of the house, prepare your family, just as Noah prepared his family. Pastors, prepare the church, just as Noah prepared his church. Because this is the time to establish an everlasting covenant with God. Spiritual ark of covenant is needed for every family under which you shall be saved. Every church needs a spiritual ark of covenant in which the church shall be saved. Is it coming? Jesus said, it must come to pass. It must come to pass. The end is not yet. This is the beginning of sorrow. Prepare my people. Prepare my people. God bless you.